We are back, and today is election day.
You're going to give us a preview?
Yeah.
What we have going on?
Yeah. So this is technically an off-year election. So in Ohio, 2 years after the presidential election, we elect the governor. So because this is 2025, this is going to be all your lower local races.
Correct.
So there's no governor, there's no president, and that's really what draws people.
Correct.
So
But this is where they do throw in some levies.
Yep.
And try to say, get some things through because less people show up.
Right. It's a trick.
And we need people to understand this is the precursor before we get property tax on the ballot next year, before there is a governor vote. So this is really the precursor for getting the right people in at the local levels who understand what your real objectives are. Because if you let the people slide, then we don't get rid of them until 2 more years.
Right. And to be honest, the elections that are up now are more impactful to your daily life than who is president or who is governor.
Correct. These are important, so it is worth going out and voting.
Yep.
All right, what do we need to know?
So some of the things that are up this year is judges, city council, township trustees, village council, mayor, school board, and then there's some issues.
Okay.
So first I wanted to talk about the candidates for those. And there are 2 types of candidates. There are candidates that they got the signatures, they're on the ballot. You're going to see their name printed. And then there's something called a write-in candidate. And this is kind of a misconception within the public that you can go in and you can vote for yourself and that you're going to get in because you voted for yourself.
Or vote for Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. I'm sure Mickey Mouse would have won the presidential election by write-ins if that worked. However, to be a write-in candidate, they have to officially file with the Board of Elections as a write-in candidate. So even though you go in and you write your own name, if you have not filed with the Board of Elections, your write-in vote does not count.
It's thrown out.
Yeah. And you are seeing some write-in candidates, and they're actually on the candidate report on the Board of Elections. So the Huber Heights mayor race, there is a write-in that's going against incumbent Jeff Gore. There was a couple, I think West Carrollton has multiple write-in candidates. Carrollton Council, there are 3 write-ins.
Wow.
2 people on the ballot for 4 seats total.
Okay.
So when you have that kind of scenario where only 2 have filed by the deadline, it's advantageous to write yourself in as a candidate if you're interested because 1 vote gets you in. Now, in that case, you're going to have the top 2 of the write-in candidates,
right,
are going to get in. But I've seen other people that have gotten in just by after the deadline to be on the ballot. They file as a write-in, and then they actually get on the board.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, some of the contested races, and there are several that are not contested, which means that for Centerville Council, for example, there are 3 people running, and there are 3 seats open. So all 3 of those people are getting in.
Probably.
Yep. Montgomery County Municipal Court Judge Cox is rerunning for his term, and he's the only one. There's nobody running against him. So, and I'm just mainly talking about Montgomery County. I've got some Greene County stuff in here too. But Montgomery County Municipal Court, you have Brandon Myers versus Cindy Westwood. Now, judges are not partisan. So you're not going to see a D or an R by their name. So what you need to do is your homework to find out who you like their experience or who you like their values or who you like their personality or name, however you want to vote for them.
Who they are.
Kind of do your homework before. And see which party puts them out on a slate card. So a slate card, for our viewers that don't know, is put out by the party or put out by some kind of political group.
A PAC.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a PAC, but usually it is, that will put out here are the candidates to vote for. And you can take those in to the ballot box with you.
Right.
Another thing is you can go on to, I have some fun visuals.
Handouts.
I feel like a teacher. You can go on your Board of Elections website and put in your name and then do a sample ballot.
Okay.
And it will pull up a basically ballot that'll
An
look
example of it?
just like what you'll see at the ballot box.
Oh,
and you
that's
can
cool.
fill in what you want, and then you can take this so it's like an open book test.
That's cool.
When you
That's
go
good
in.
to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you get in and you're like, oh, that levy, the way it's written, I don't know. Like, if
I forgot.
if
Who was
vote
I going to vote
yes,
for?
yeah,
What, right?
True. And then you're just like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
So this way you could actually do your research, mark who you want to, and then you can take that in and use that as your guide.
Yep.
Please do that. That is just so amazing that we can do that.
Yeah, and let's talk about guides for a minute.
Okay.
There are 2 voters' guides that are out. They send out questionnaires. They're very respectable. They've been around for years. And the one is done by the League of Women Voters, and the other one is the Dayton Daily News. And those are published online. Each candidate answered questions, or some of them did choose not to respond. And there's also videos. The League of Women Voters did a YouTube video series and a question and answer series. So you can see kind of who the candidates are, what they believe, what their platform is, besides just going to their website or their social media or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, so, and I think we'll put the links.
We will tie
the
those
voters'
into
guide.
this
Yeah.
so you guys can check it out.
All right, so back to candidates. If you are in Clayton, you are looking at a contested mayor's race, council, at large.
Okay.
Dayton mayor's race is Mayor Jeff Mims, who's currently in there against Shanice Turner-Sloss, who is a council member. So she's trying to become mayor. And then Dayton Commission, there are 4 up for 2 seats.
4 up for 2 seats. All right.
And so usually how that works is the top 2 most vote getters get in. And so there's another theory about this. Let's talk about it. That if you only want your guy to get in, you go in and you only vote for one.
Burn the vote.
Yep. And some people think that that's cool. Otherwise, some people go in and, I'd have to vote for 2. You don't have to. Even though it says vote for 2, you don't have to.
So we have our board trustee and directors vote going on, and there is a whole debate about that process because it's very similar. So the vote process is pretty similar in that you have people who are allowed to make the vote that are going to make the decision. But of our 3,600 realtors, maybe only 800 of them actually click a button. And so the theory is that if they burn votes and they only vote for the people that they want in there, they think that does them better, right? And so really you'll have a big house brokerage only do votes for their people that are running, and then that kills the chance of anybody else from a small brokerage or, that they really have to do that much more in order to get there. So a little bit of a debate that we had going on is I don't want there to be a chance as to who's getting into those seats, so I did not burn my votes. I voted for absolutely the people that I thought needed to be in there, who deserve that position, so that I filled my card out. And my friend was like, what? No, you should have burned your vote. And I'm like, not in this case, because I'm not taking a chance that somebody that I don't want in there is getting in there. Like, I am not doing it this time. In times past, maybe I agree, I understand.
Yeah.
But in this logic, for this, I don't want there to be a chance that the wrong person get in there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that it is the same
Yeah.
in this. So 4 people, 2 seats.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Englewood Council has 5 people running for 3 seats. Germantown Mayor Terry Johnson is going to be reelected because they are the only person up for mayor. Germantown Council has 5 people for 3 seats. Huber Heights Mayor. So this one's interesting because you have Jeff Gore rerunning for his seat, but then you have Tom McMasters, who is a write-in candidate. So he's not going to be on the ballot, but you have to know his name if you do not want to vote for Jeff Gore.
So if you didn't know that he was a write-in candidate, you're just going to go in and you're only going to see the one name. You're going to make an assumption.
Yeah.
This is why you need to be informed going in there, maybe with your guide, with your list that you've made out that, oh, wait, I remember Masters is running and I think he's a better candidate, so I want to be sure to write it in.
Yeah.
This is where people do get confused because you go into the booth and it's like it all starts getting convoluted together, right?
Yeah.
So.
And it's kind of like the grocery store theory. When you're on the way to the grocery store, you're like, I need eggs, I need milk, I need biscuits, I need chips, I need,
And the list
ground
starts.
beef. Yeah. And then when you get in there, you're like, oh, that shirt's pretty. What do I need?
Or you buy 60 of the other things that you don't need.
Yeah, and then as you're no doubt checking out, you're walking to your car, and I'm like, oh, flour. Dang it. So then you have to go load all your groceries in because you can't just take all your groceries that are in your bags like right back into the grocery store.
You got to leave them in the car.
Yeah.
And go back in. Or you say, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and forget the
then,
flour.
But then when you get home and you're like,
now I can't make that dinner.
Yeah, pizza it is.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
Yeah. So, okay, back to my list. So Huber Heights Council, Nancy Burge, I think is how you say that last name, Kate Baker and Anita Kitchen, and Mark Campbell are all in because they're the only ones running.
Okay.
So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. So they have wards in Huber Heights, and then they also, like in Kettering, they do as well. And they're the different, in Miamisburg, so I guess, multiple cities. Anyway, they have wards, and the people that are running live in that ward. You also have at-large seats where are like, they can live anywhere in the city.
Yep.
So I know in Kettering, for example, there are 4 wards, and then there's the at-large.
So if you live in, let's just call it Ward 1, are you only voting for the people available in Ward 1, or are you voting for all of the wards?
No, so you're only voting for your ward and at-large.
At-large,
if there is an at-large, or if your ward is even up, because not all of the wards are up at the exact same time.
Yep.
So getting into Kettering, municipal court judge will be Patricia Campbell. There was somebody else, but he withdrew. And then Kettering mayor's race is Bob Scott versus Brian Suddeth. And we've had Bob on the podcast before, so he's obviously a real T favorite.
And hopefully people check that out, right?
Yeah. And then Kettering Council at large, there are 3 running for 2 seats.
Okay.
So Miamisburg Council, they now have Republican or Democrat next to their name.
On their council?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So everything else that I have mentioned has not been a nonpartisan race on all of them.
Okay.
And one of Bob's sayings is that a pothole is not Democrat or Republican. So, they try to keep party out of it at a local level. However, Miamisburg doesn't.
Interesting.
And everybody is running as a Republican.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So there are 4 wards up there. All 4 are getting in. They don't have any challengers. Moraine Mayor, Terry Murphy is the current incumbent and is being challenged by Erica Watts. Okay. And I actually know Erica from when I was little.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. And then Moraine Council at large, there's 2 running and 2 are getting in. And actually, the Brandon Delph, who was running for that, his mom used to babysit me when I was like 5.
This is why politics is in your whole DNA, right?
Yeah, it's a funny story. I had broken my leg when I was like 3. Some girl ran me over with a bicycle. It was a hell to do. And he had like ridden a tricycle down a slide and broke his arm. Oh. So here she has me and him, who are like 3 and 3 years old, in the cart in the grocery store. And I have a broken leg and he has a broken arm. And she used to say I used to get the weirdest looks from people.
She was just taking you to the store, and she was the one who was getting in trouble.
Like, what are you doing to those kids? So anyway, back to our candidates. Oakwood Municipal Court Judge is going to be Molly Stitzinger, which I know her. She's great. Oakwood Council, there are 3 running for 2 seats. 2, Sam Dorff and Serena Kelly currently don't hold those seats, so we'll have somebody new over on Oakwood Council. Riverside Council, there's 5 running for 4 seats. Trotwood Council, Ward 1 and Ward 2 are contested. Ward 3 and 4 are not.
Okay.
Union Council, there is 5 up for 3 seats. That tends to be like the common theme, 5 people running for 3. And then Vandalia Municipal Court Judge, Judge Heck is retiring after a lot of years on the bench. I believe she aged out. So there is Nicole Ammerhein versus David Caldwell.
Okay, seen those names.
Yeah. And then Vandalia Council, you have 6 for 3 spots, and none of them currently are on council.
Wow, all new people.
Yeah. And then West Carrollton, we've already talked about their council a little bit with the 3 write-in candidates. And then New Lebanon Council, Nicole Adkins is the only one that is rerunning for her seat. There are 4 new, 3 spots total.
Wow.
Yeah. The Phillipsburg mayor is getting reelected because it is Not challenged. Phillipsburg Council, same thing. And then Butler Township Trustee, this is an interesting race.
Ooh.
Because there is 3 up for 2 seats. Currently, Ken Betts is not an incumbent because Bryson Jackson beat him a couple years ago. So
Okay.
he lost his seat, but now they're kind of going head-to-head again. Yep. And then Clay Township Trustee, Dale Winner, you are a winner because you are getting reelected.
That was easy.
Yeah. Clay Township, another Clay Township Trustee, there are 3 running for 2 spots. And then Clay Township Fiscal Officer is a write-in candidate who is being reelected.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that one's weird. She already holds the position. She didn't file petitions. She filed as a write-in, but nobody filed against her, so she's back in.
So it's kind of like, well, if nobody else is going to do it, I guess I will.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's a pretty big roll of the dice.
Yeah.
Germantown Trustee, there are 3 up for 2 spots. Harrison Township Trustee, there are 3 up for 2 spots. Jackson Township Trustee, there are 5 up for 2 spots. And Jefferson Township Trustee, there are 2 up for 2 spots. So I had a text message the other day that said, hey, what is a township trustee? So I kind of wanted to talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
So basically, city council, township trustee, and village council are all the same job. It is people that are elected to make the decisions about the budget, about the county government, or not county government, about the municipality government.
Yep.
So it just depends on if you live in a city,
Yep.
or if you live in a township,
Or a village.
or if you live in a village.
Yes.
I believe villages have mayors, but you don't vote on them. It's just whoever the council decides to be the mayor. City councils, you vote on the mayor, and township trustees don't have a mayor. So if there's 3 township trustees, then all 3 of them have the same voting power.
Right.
Not that I think that a mayor has any more power
Yeah.
than the other city council members, because,
Yeah.
like, for example, in Kettering, I think there's, 6 of them, 7 of them, they all have the same voting power.
Yeah.
However, I think being the mayor just comes a little bit more notoriety.
So it's interesting because you would think township would be bigger than a village. A village has a mayor, but township does not.
Well, as far as like square footage,
Or-
township is larger. You know, some of our largest land plots in Montgomery County is Miami Township, Washington Township. You know, you have Beaver Creek Township out in Greene County. And then you have village. There's not many. I think, what is it, Phillipsburg, Verona, and New Lebanon are maybe the only villages left in Montgomery County.
Is that right?
I think so. And then New Lebanon politics out there.
It's a
is
whole other
little
thing.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah. So basically, when they say that they're a trustee, they're a council member.
Right.
It's just a different name.
Right. Right.
So moving on with our list. Oh, you have Miami Township Trustee, who is 3 up for 2 seats. And what's interesting about this race specifically is Bob Matthews is rerunning. Well, he's going from fiscal officer to just trustee. However, there was just some scandal with him in the Dayton Daily News with the auditor's office, the state auditor, where he decided to use township money to buy gold coins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the auditor has come out recently and said they're trying to remove him from his seat. As of the time of this recording, I don't know if they've been successful at that or not.
So may or may not be in that position for the vote.
Yeah, but
depending.
He's now running for trustee, not fiscal officer.
And we talked about Miami Township having the potential for a bankruptcy filing.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any updates on that either.
Yeah.
So somebody may be looking into what's going on there.
Yeah.
Like your fiscal officer seems like that's a pretty important role, right?
Yeah. So anyway, Perry Township Trustee has 5 running for 2 seats. Shocker. Perry Township Fiscal Officer is contested between 2. Washington Township Trustee, there is Luke Truby, who is challenging incumbent Sharon Lowry and Scott Paulson. Montgomery County ESC, which I did not know has a school board.
Montgomery County has a school board?
So it's the Educational Service Center.
Okay.
So if you apply for like a teacher job, you go to the ESC website. They also run several schools throughout the county.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there is 4 up for 3 spots. Centerville School Board, there is 4 up for 3 spots. Dayton School Board. This one is always in the news.
Yep.
There is 7 up for 4 spots, and 3 are incumbents.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know if Cassandra Goodwine and Virgil Goodwine II are related, but they have the same last name. So that would be interesting to see if family members are going to get on or if they're related. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might not be, but that's kind of an odd last name for both of you to have it. Huber Heights School Board, there is 4 up for 3 spots. Kettering School Board, all 3 incumbents are getting back in. Miamisburg School Board, there is 6 up for 3 spots. Northmont School Board, there's only 3 for 3 spots. Oakwood School Board, there is 3 spots. Sarah Bourne is trying to challenge incumbent Lauren Kawhi, Laura Middleton, and John Wilson.
Okay.
And then Trotwood Madison School Board, this one is interesting because there is 2 incumbents running for 3 spots. So you're going to have an open spot. So as of right now, well, and I believe the write-in candidate
It's
time
already
has
timed
already
out.
passed.
Yeah, it's already timed out.
So there's going to be an open seat that is now going to have to be filled.
So it could be appointed, or is it a
Yes.
special election?
No, it would be appointed.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm not sure exactly who appoints that. It would be like in the charter or, whatever. And then Vandalia School Board, there is 4 running for 3 seats. West Carrollton School Board, everybody's getting back in. Brookville School Board, everybody's getting it back in. Jefferson Township Local School Board, everybody's getting back in. But there's only 2 there for 3 seats. So you're going to have an opening in Jefferson Township as well.
And so I know you still have some names on there, but when everybody's going to get back in, doesn't mean that you don't want to show up to vote. You still should show up to vote because there could be other items that are going to be
yes,
on there, right?
Montgomery County and Greene County have levies, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. We're just through the school boards right now, right?
Yeah, we're through the candidates first.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most people go to vote for your candidate
Yeah.
or for the friend that you know that's running or something like that. And the candidates are really what pulls people, not so much the levies, unless there's an additional levy that has gotten a lot of,
Attention.
yes.
If it's going to
publicity.
cost them money, they need to be doing their homework before.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really telling people, please don't just think that you don't need to vote this November, because whether you don't have anybody contested, it's all just a shoe-in, right? There's still going to be items that come up that we need you to show up.
Yeah. So Mad River Local School Board is contested. There's 4 people for 3 spots. New Lebanon Local School Board, Northridge Local School Board, Valley View Local School Board, and Springboro Council Ward 1, which is the only ward, I believe, in Montgomery County, in Springboro, are all uncontested. They're all getting back in. Carlisle does have a part in Montgomery County as well, and there's an at-large positions. There's 4 of them, and there's 5 people running. Verona Council and Verona Board of Public Affairs. Nobody filed valid petitions or write-in candidates, so both of those are open.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you live in Verona and you have any interest in local politics,
Reach out to your
there
people.
are 2 spots, yeah. Clear Creek Township Trustee, which I know that sits majority in Greene County. However, there's a portion in Montgomery County, so it's on here. There are 3 people running for 2 seats. Preble County ESC, which is the Educational Service Center. Like Montgomery County has one. Preble County has one as well. There's no valid petitions filed for that.
Wow.
So if you have any interest in school board countywide, there's a spot. But there are 3 people running for 3 other seats, so they're getting in. Warren County ESC is contested. There's 4 for 3 spots. Beaver Creek has a little portion in Montgomery County, so it's on here as well. There is 5 up for 3 seats, and Nathan Boone is one of them, and he's been on the podcast. We like him. He's a favorite of the Realty.
We're endorsing him.
Yeah. Fairborn School Board, there are 2, and they're both getting in. Springboro Community School Board, again, a little portion in Montgomery County, so that's why it's on here. There are 3 getting in. Carlisle Local School Board, there is 4 up for 3 spots. Preble Shawnee Local School Board, they're all getting in. Tri-County North, they're all getting in. And Tri-County North Local School Board at large is all getting in as well. So
She's
those
eating this
are
stuff
all
up.
of your candidates from Montgomery County.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Now we get to do our homework.
So now let's talk about ballot issues.
Okay.
So-
This is what you've been waiting for.
Yeah, so there are 2 different types, really, of levies. There is something called a renewal, and there's something called an additional. Renewal, you're already paying it. So that's when you see
Won't raise your taxes.
That phrase right there. So I know like Beaver Creek Schools has one. It's a renewal right now. However, and I've never been clear on this. If you don't renew it, does your taxes go down?
No.
Why?
Well, because what we've decided is once they get your money, they keep it.
But that doesn't make sense.
I know. And that's the problem. That's why we need the House and the Senate to pass the bill for clean language on these ballot initiatives.
Yeah.
Because when someone says, won't raise your taxes, and that's the yard signs that you pass, then that makes an assumption in your head that your property taxes aren't going to be any higher.
Yeah.
But we know property taxes have done nothing but go up.
Right.
So why does it keep going up if what I voted on didn't raise my taxes?
Yeah.
So it's a technicality.
Oh, goodness. So if you live in Montgomery County as a county, there is a Health and Human Services 6.03 mil levy renewal on the ballot. So it starts in 2026. It would be first due in 2027, and it's for 8 years.
And you're saying this one is won't raise your taxes because it's already
It's a
there.
renewal, yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you live in the city of Clayton, they are trying to change your charter left and right out there. There is a municipal referendum. There is an aggregate natural gas loads on the ballot, and there are 4 charter amendments. Wait. 5 charter amendments. Gotta turn the page.
Got to turn the page.
The city of Dayton is trying to pass an additional 1 mil levy for the purpose of construction and maintenance of a public hospital.
I wonder, is that the hospital that they demoed and now they want to build back?
Oh, like, what is that?
Good Sam?
Good Sam, yeah.
And if that's the case, what the heck, people?
Why aren't hospitals paying for their own? Aren't they a private?
I mean,
business?
I would say I want to know what's going on.
Yeah. But additional means it will add to your property taxes, and that is for 10 years, starting in 2026, first due in 2027.
If you vote yes.
Yeah. So there is 2 things called a local option, and it's the city of Germantown and the city of Kettering, and those are liquor license. Did you know that you have to vote for places to get liquor license?
Yes. And it is a designated amount. So just because, let's say you have 5 liquor licenses that have been approved for that area. If a business sells, that doesn't necessarily mean that the next person coming in there is going to get the business license, right? For that liquor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it may come off and you don't have it, and it may not get back approved for the next person. But it's a whole process. So
Yeah. So the one in Kettering is for Kettering Wine and Spirits at 1218 Stroop Road. And the one in Germantown is for Parkside Pizza and Ice Cream at 1361 West Market.
All right.
Yeah, so the city of Union has an additional levy for the purpose of providing general municipal operations.
All right.
So that is a 1% increase on their income taxes.
On the income tax.
Yeah, and that is for the city of Union.
Okay.
The city of West Carrollton is trying to do a charter amendment, which charter amendments can have some consequences as well. You know, I know that the charter was changed to add term limits to Kettering several years ago. So now that's why you don't see a mayor there for 50 years.
Right.
The village of Verona is trying to add an additional levy of 4 mills for the purpose of providing and maintaining fire protection.
So that would be an additional to the property
But
taxes.
they're also doing an additional 1 mil for the exact same thing, but it's a separate vote.
Yes.
So I guess they're thinking there is if the 4 mil doesn't pass, the 1 mil may.
Yeah.
Yeah. Butler Township is trying to do a resolution to adopt limited home rule in Butler Township. I'm not sure what that is.
So the home rule is that the state of Ohio could come out and, because we, the people, want to abolish property taxes, we say no property taxes in Ohio, we vote, and that is passed. So there is no property taxes in Ohio per the vote at the state level. But home rule dictates that it is the local municipalities that then can enact new laws or change or create, right? And so when they say, oh, well, we voted no property taxes in Ohio, then the local guys are going to come out and they're going to say, oh, well, we can't survive if we don't have some form of property taxes. So we're going to pass this at the local level. Our municipality is going to say, we have this property tax in our municipality that is now taken home rule.
Sneaky.
This is why, people, this is why who you vote for at the local level is really important.
Yes.
What you vote to allow to happen is really important. Now, I don't know what they're trying to change in this home rule, what they're trying to say, but home rule applies when it comes to what's going on in your little neighborhood, because we vote here at the state level like we did for marijuana and abortion.
Yeah.
But everybody at the local level said, nope, not in my backyard, not having it.
Right. Which doesn't make sense. Like the city of Kettering, for example, you can't have a dispensary within city limits. Mm-hmm. So people are just going to Dayton and buying their marijuana and getting high in Kettering, and you're not getting the tax benefits from it.
Well, and so here is the interesting thing that has been pitched to me as, hey, how do we fix the property tax situation? And somebody that I spoke with yesterday,
tax the shit out of the marijuana.
That's what they said. And this was a young person who said we would still pay for, and I'm not making any judgments, yay or nay, or anything like that. We need better solutions for what we have been dealing with, and property taxes is a crisis, and we're talking about the elections. And so this is the time to say, if we did this and we allowed this and we earned money, sales tax off of the sale of what was voted to accept as legal in the state of Ohio, municipalities better get on board. And hey, if you adopted this as a source of income, you could offset the loss of any potential property taxes that we want to get rid of.
Yeah.
You could have more funds in your coffers as a result of allowing that to happen.
I want to say, since I was a kid, from people older than me, they just kept saying, well, if you just make marijuana illegal and you tax it, then we wouldn't have any spending problems or budget problems or whatever, because the money would be there. I say tax the alcohol, tax the marijuana, and tax the cigarettes. We're good.
And they tax alcohol and they tax cigarettes currently.
Yeah.
But they've
up them. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing that people want. They'll find a way to do it, right? They'll
Yeah.
find a way to pay for it. Hopefully it's all legal that they find ways to do it, but I'm just saying that we know it's not going away. Mm-hmm. And that's reaching along a lot of different generations, that this is, whether it's medical or personal recreation, whatever, it's there.
Yeah.
So why aren't we getting the benefit of that at the local level to where we could offset these property tax increases? And don't even get me started on wanting transparency for all this stuff. But when these new people get into these positions, we should continue to apply the pressure and say, hey, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What's going on with the budget? Where did our money go?
Yeah. And speaking of that right here, be wary of any candidates that are already in office and then say, well, if you elect me, I will do X, Y, Z. Well, you've been in office for how many years? Why haven't you already done it?
That's it. That's what I'm saying. If you've been in office and you haven't done the job, get out.
Right.
I don't care if you're incumbent or not, get out.
So back to our levies. German Township has a $500,000 for the purpose of parks and rec. Mm-hmm. But they also, on a separate line item, an additional $1 million for the exact same purpose.
Yep. This is where they hedge their bets.
Yeah.
If you vote no here, you will vote yes here because you'll think this is the lesser of the evils. And the fact of the matter is it may still be the lesser of the evils, but it is still going to raise your property taxes.
Mm-hmm. So Jefferson Township is trying to do an additional levy of $6 million for the purpose of roads and bridges.
Holy crap, $6 million? Roads and bridges, hello, where is our gasoline tax going to if that's not taking care of roads and bridges?
Yes. I don't know if there's many bridges in Jefferson Township, but have you driven on the roads out there?
I have driven on the roads out there.
They're not great.
But why aren't they getting money from the state tax on the gasoline?
I agree. Okay, so Beaver Creek City School District is doing a renewal of 6.8 for the purpose of emergency requirements. And so we were talking about this earlier. If you are doing 6.8 for a renewal for emergency requirements,
It's already there.
why is it an emergency?
Correct.
Why didn't that 6.8 go towards the last emergency when it was approved?
Correct. And
When you
so
continually do a renewal of emergency, where's it going?
that makes us
That's
pause
like
the question.
going to your mom and saying, I need lunch money. and then she gives you lunch money. And then an hour later being like, hey, I need lunch money again. And she's like, didn't I already give this to you?
For the same day?
You haven't had lunch, right?
Yeah.
This is not mathin'. This math ain't mathin'.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Springboro Community City School District has a bond issue, $2.8 million over 37 years.
See, people, you will forget about this in the next 5 years, and they'll throw something else out there and add on to it, and you just don't realize.
So this is for the purpose of new construction, improvements, renovation, and other additions to school facilities, as well as equipment, furnishings, site improvements, and all necessary appurtenances.
How about they go apply for that $10.5 billion sitting in school surplus right now?
Right.
And use that.
Yeah. Carlisle is going to repeal their school district income tax. It is on the ballot.
Interesting.
So there is a lot of places, school districts in Montgomery County or in this area that do not have school district income taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some that still do. So Carlisle's trying to get rid of it. Jefferson Township Local School District is a school income tax. They're trying to put it on for 1%.
Of course they are.
Yeah. And New Lebanon is up for a renewal of a 0.5% income tax. And Preble Shawnee Local School District is a renewal of a 0.75 school district income tax.
So again, I know that sounds like it's a lot of what we just went through. Thanks for doing that, because I think it is going to be helpful to get those guides, to have the information, to do your research before you go vote. And yes, please go vote, because just as we talked about, some of these things are going to make a difference. Yay or nay, they're going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And so you want to have your voice be heard by placing your vote.
And especially, so coming off, recently there was the No Kings protest.
Yeah.
If you were out at the No Kings protest and you are not voting, that is a problem.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is we don't always agree.
Yeah.
We can have differences of opinions, but what matters is when I go to vote, then I get to at least have my say.
Yes. And the same thing on the other side. If you were at one of the Charlie Kirk, not protests, but gatherings, and you don't go vote, that is the entire point of what he was about,
yeah.
is the freedom to vote in the United States.
Yes.
So Election Day is big.
It is.
It is a long day. If you are ever interested in seeing how an election works, you can go work at one of the polling places. You get paid for it. Your employer should give you the day off.
Right.
Sometimes it's paid, depending upon the employer. I think you get paid like $125 for the day. It's early. It starts at 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
and doesn't end until like 8:30 p.m. However, you get to meet some of the greatest people.
Yeah.
And then just see our democracy in action.
And people are doing mail-in ballots for absenteeism. They're doing early voting. So if you think, well, November 4th, I have something going on, look now for what you can do to still have your voice heard and be counted.
So you can go down to the Board of Elections, and every day, including the weekend before the election, they'll be open on Saturday and Sunday, or you can, I think you fill out a form online now, and you can have your absentee ballot mailed to you.
Yes.
And then there is a drop box. So if you don't trust the United States Postal Service,
Which I wouldn't.
why would you? You can actually take it down. There is a drop box that is secure right behind the administration building at 451 West 3rd Street, and it has a camera on it all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for all that information.
Yeah.
You can tell this is in your real house.
Right. In a former life.
Thanks for joining us today on the Real Tea Podcast. If you enjoyed the knowledge and entertainment today, please subscribe and share with your friends. We will be embarking on a journey that bridges the gap between realtors and clients, uncovering the heart and tea of real estate.